Half-time at the Emirates, and it's goalless. Just stop that there because the two teams are back out on the field. Anthony Taylor just doing a quick head count, and we should be getting this second half underway at the Emirates Stadium. It is goalless between Arsenal and West Ham United. Arsenal certainly enjoying more possession in the first half, getting closer to scoring as well. That effort from Kieran Tierney tipped onto the bar by Fabianski. A couple of other efforts inside the box as well. Lacazette had a good chance. Xhaka had a shot charged down by Dawson. At the other end, only really one effort of note for West Ham. It was a curling effort from Pablo Fornals, which was just wide. But in the end, nothing really on target for Aaron Ramsdale to worry about. Second half is underway. It's myself, Paul Szczerbakowicz, and Sam Wright taking you through the action. Sam, Arsenal will feel, maybe not agree, but they'll certainly feel as though they deserve to be in front more than the visitors, and that they want to carry that on in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a promising first half for Arsenal without really having too many opportunities. Obviously, the Tierney one, and then the Lacazette strike and Martinelli on the follow-up. They were the only main moments, I'd say, of note for Arsenal. But I do think, though, yeah, they've certainly showed more intent going forward than West Ham. And if any team deserved to be winning going to the break, it was Arsenal. But they just need to keep that up in the second half, really. And if they do that, I'm sure they will get a goal.
Well, they'll certainly be thinking that sheer weight of possession should give them a chance. Once again, a very miscued clearance there from Aaron Ramsdale at the start of the second half. And once again, it just about got through to Lacazette on the halfway line. West Ham now in possession, but the ball played back to Fabianski. Long clearance from him, headed forward now by Thomas Partey for Arsenal. And Lacazette is on the run, getting to the edge of the area, being held onto there by Souček, but he gets away from him, finds Bukayo Saka, who turns and tries to fire towards goal with the left foot. That is a long, long way over the bar. I'll just remind you of the two teams. No changes at half-time, so for Arsenal, Aaron Ramsdale in goal. Back for Vetahiro, Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel Martinelli and Kieran Tierney. Two holding midfielders, Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka. The three ahead of them, Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard and Gabriel Martinelli. With Alexandre Lacazette as the front man. For West Ham, it is Łukasz Fabianski in goal. Back for Vladimir Coufal, Craig Dawson, Issa Diop and Artur Masuaku. The two holding midfielders, Thomas Souček and Declan Rice, with Jared Bowen, Manuel Lanzini and Pablo Fornals. The three ahead of them, and it's Michail Antonio as the front man. This has not been going through the teams. It's been Arsenal in possession inside the West Ham half. Gabriel Martinelli brought down there by Michail Antonio, who's claiming that he was actually being held onto there. But free kick taken quickly. Arsenal want to keep that energy level they had at the end of the first half and take it right into the second. Absolutely,
yeah. Like I said, they need to keep it up when the first half, the end of the first half very strongly, Arsenal. So it's important that they do that. And I mean, they're having a good spell of possession here. They come forward now.
That's a great ball from Lacazette to find Martinelli into the box, and he tucks it past Fabianski. You can see our referee Anthony Taylor just having a quick look over to the linesman. I don't think the flag is going to go up. Might just have a quick check on VAR just to be sure. But it does look as though Arsenal have taken the lead on 48 minutes here at the Emirates Stadium. Just finding that little bit of space. Lacazette threading it through to Martinelli.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't score late in the first half, score early in the second, that's going to deflate West Ham as well. But interesting if he was onside. I think he was. But from West Ham's point of view, that was far too easy for Arsenal. I mean, just a little turn. It starts in the Arsenal defence. Good turn by Lacazette, but it's too easy. He's definitely not offside, of course. He's miles onside and he gets in. From West Ham's point of view, it's far too easy, but full credit to Gabriel Martinelli, who scored his first Premier League goal against West Ham a couple of years ago. He's on the score sheet against them again here, and it's a really good finish from him.
It is a good finish on the run as well. Just opens up the body and tucks that ball into the bottom corner as Fabianski's diving across. The real mistake for West Ham, I think, with that goal is the amount of space that Lacazette had in midfield. Where West Ham was so good in the first half was closing down, not giving Arsenal any space, any time in that playmakers area. But all of a sudden, Lacazette gets the ball 35, 40 yards out, and he's got about 5 square yards around him.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, it was just too easy, in my opinion. I mean, Lacazette gets it, plays it to Martinelli. He's just got a free run, really, towards goal, and he does. He accelerates towards goal. It's a really good finish from him, but West Ham just melted, really, the midfield and defence there, and Arsenal took advantage, and that's exactly what the Gunners needed. Yeah, real frustration that for David Moyes, considering how well organised his side were in the first half. Less than 3 minutes into the second half, a real lack of organisation, giving Arsenal the lead. And now the question is, how do West Ham respond? Because they were set up more in a sort of in its formation to try and soak up Arsenal pressure, to try and restrict what Arsenal were doing. But now, of course, they need to open up a little bit as they are trailing by a goal to nil, as Souček and Rice win the ball back there for West Ham, and Masuaku is off down the left-hand side. But 3 Arsenal players on him, and it's Saka in the end that dispossesses him, and he's off into the penalty area now. Bukayo Saka, good challenge there from Declan Rice to win it back. Lanzini tries to get the ball away, runs straight into Odegaard, who hits the deck. No free kick given.
And West Ham play on with the ball from Masuaku, played up towards Ben White. He keeps it in play. Odegaard, meantime, has got up now, so it looks like he's okay to play on. And Arsenal have it back anyway now with Tomiyasu playing it back towards Gabriel Martinelli. The other two games, they're both on 79 minutes now. It is Brighton 0, Wolves 1, and it's now Palace 2, Southampton 2 at Selhurst Park. But here come Arsenal now with Tierney. His ball into the box, deflects off Souček, and there should be enough time there for Fabianski. There is enough time for him to come across and stop the corner.
Yeah, good. Yeah, in the end he did well enough there, Souček, to get a block in, and Fabianski coming out and preventing the corner. But as for West Ham now, this kind of changes their game plan, of course. At 0-0 it was kind of working. They were waiting for that moment to counter-attack. Didn't really come in the first half. I mean, Antonio, as I mentioned, hasn't had his best game so far, and I just feel like that's been the issue, really. Now they've got to change the game plan and go forward a bit more, which might open up space for Arsenal.
Absolutely. So it's Alessi, Ashby, Noble, Koflex, Kral, Benrahma, Yarmolenko, Vlasic, and goalkeeper Areola on the bench for West Ham. It seems that they have got some attacking options that don't really have a replacement number 9 as such, but they've certainly got attacking midfield options in Yarmolenko and Benrahma. But here come Arsenal now with Saka for Odegaard at the edge of the area, finds Xhaka. Xhaka sets up for the strike. It's once again Dawson sliding in. The Arsenal players, or at least Xhaka on his own, was appealing a handball there for that Dawson block. But I'm not too sure there was too much in that. But once again, Craig Dawson in the right place at the right moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he was a little bit flat-footed for the goal, Dawson, in my opinion. Let Martinelli run away from him, but you would expect Martinelli to beat Dawson in a foot race. But there, though, he was very good in the first half, Dawson. And again there, right place at the right time to block Lacazette. Here come West Ham forward.
They do. It's with Lanzini at the edge of the area, just being stopped there by Xhaka. Goes back to Souček, and then he switches play to find a Coufal, right-hand edge of the area, then finds Jared Bowen. Bowen with the cross, right-footed cross, headed away by Xhaka in the end, out for a throw to West Ham down the right-hand side. Coufal with the ball here for the Hammers. Just waiting to see what options he has. Bowen has gone close. Benrahma and Lanzini, I should say, and Antonio are waiting at the edge of the area. But it's Coufal just choosing to go back towards Dawson, who's got a lot further forward this time. Perhaps that might be an additional tactic there from David Moyes. He'll just ask his two centre-backs, Diop and Dawson, just to join a little bit of midfield play here as West Ham try and keep possession. The West Ham fans there just behind the Arsenal goal, feeling there should have been a free kick given, but Arsenal give it away at the edge of the area. And here is Jared Bowen with a left-footed strike, and that's a great save from Ramsdale. But that's as easy as West Ham could have had an equaliser there. Arsenal just giving it away in midfield.
Poor from Arsenal, of course, giving the ball away. Falls to Bowen, takes a deflection off Gabriel, which makes it more awkward for Ramsdale. It's a good height from him in the end, though. I think the deflection actually makes it a height. Ramsdale's already going down, gets up well and makes a good save. First time he's been tested this evening, and that will give West Ham hope going forward.
Here comes the corner kick, headed on by Declan Rice, but that's gone along the 6-yard box. Nobody in a West Ham shirt close enough to make anything of that header. But Declan Rice straight away just trying to G up his players as he goes back towards his midfield position, because it's 53 minutes gone. West Ham still have plenty of time to do something in this game.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, but Declan Rice is right to do that, of course. He is the captain. West Ham haven't really shown enough in the opening 53 minutes. He knows that. His team are now trailing. They've got to do more. I mean, they were nearly gifted something there, of course, from Arsenal. Really poor ball, and Bowen nearly made the most of it, and that would have been a gift of an equaliser, but West Ham certainly need to up their game.
They do. Just looking at that replay of Rice heading it on, if Antonio had got on the end of that, he may have actually been offside after that initial header from Declan Rice from the corner. Aaron Ramsdale was considering a short goal kick with Lanzini and Antonio waiting at the edge of the area. Arsenal keeper chooses to go long, and it's headed on by Tomiyasu. Almost, in fact, Saka does keep it at play. He gets away from Masuaku as well. He's into the box now, Bukayo Saka. Ball flicks up as he was being challenged. He can't quite find Lacazette, but he gets up and gets the ball back here as Saka just plays it across the penalty area, being chased down here by Martinelli down the left-hand side. Keeps it in play. It's got the overlap here from Kieran Tierney, and he just holds it up. Rolls it back towards Gabriel Martinelli, and now it's with Ben White on the halfway line, over towards Tomiyasu on the right-hand side. Just confirmation that if Arsenal were to win this evening, they go ahead of West Ham by a point and jump into fourth.
That's big for Arsenal, of course. The way they started the season, who'd have seen that coming after 3 games when they were bottom of the table, didn't score a goal in their 3 games and conceded 9. So full credit to Mikel Arteta for the turnaround at the moment, and of course to the Arsenal players. It's been very good, and to go above West Ham, of course, into 4th would be great for the Gunners.
It certainly would. We all remember that still of Ian Wright sat at the new Brentford Stadium on opening night, looking very crestfallen after that start for Arsenal. But after that shaky start, you have to say they really have come on leaps and bounds here, Arsenal. Still not the finished article, of course, as we mentioned. Still got a few issues to iron out in terms of the dressing room. But certainly I think that Arteta has a lot more of the Arsenal faithful behind him. I don't think there are that many Arsenal fans who are against him now, really. There was at one stage a little bit of a chorus to say that maybe there should be a managerial change. But now West Ham just trying to get on the ascendancy, and Gabriel just takes a little bit off that pass, and then Antonio goes through Ramsdale. I mean, Antonio's saying that he's got every right to go for the ball. In fairness, Ramsdale doesn't make any kind of a meal of it. The referee's just trying to calm things down. Looks as though Anthony Taylor, just for the sake of perhaps diffusing a few things, stops play, but there didn't seem to be too much in that. Antonio does follow through, but he's arguing he's got a right to go for the ball there.
He does as well. Like I said, Ramsdale doesn't really make much of it, to his credit as well. I mean, Antonio's got every right to go for that. If Ramsdale wins it first, it's always going to be that sort of thing where it looks quite bad. But no, I think, to fairness to Ramsdale, he could have made more of that than he has done. And play continues. I don't think there's much needs to be made of that, really.
No, I don't think so. And I think if Antonio had just stood there 10 yards away from Ramsdale, we'd have been saying, well, why isn't Antonio closing him down? So I think that in that position, particularly this evening where West Ham have struggled to get attacking possession, any kind of loose ball, and the fact that Ramsdale has shown a couple of times this evening that he's got a few problems with his kicking as well, does mean that Antonio is well within his rights to try and close him down. Jared Bowen there robbed of the ball. He turns to the referee, no free kick given, and now Saka finds Lacazette at the edge of the area, gets away from Dawson, hits the deck. And he he thought about it for a second there, the referee, Anthony Taylor. And I think the reason why West Ham are frustrated is because it seems as though the referee's almost taken too long to decide that was a foul in the end. Yeah,
it looks like a foul at first. We'll see again. It's definitely a foul by Dawson. Sticks his leg out, of course, and therefore that makes Lacazette go down. But, it took a while to give it the referee. It's like he had to replay it in his head, really, before he give it. And that's exactly what he does in the end. And Arsenal have a dangerous free kick.
They do. It's in a very good position, just a yard or two away from the edge of the D. Just, ever so slightly over on the left, but it is pretty much central, just slightly to the left of where the penalty spot is in an arrow line. But certainly 3 or 4 Arsenal players now standing over it. Partey stepping away, as is Gabriel Martinelli. So it's leaving Lacazette and Odegaard standing over the ball here for Arsenal. And Fabianski just trying to organise his wall. He's got a man lying down in the wall as well. It's going to be Pablo Fornals to try and stop anything low. As referee Anthony Taylor just been asked by Odegaard and Lacazette to see. I've got to say, the line isn't very clear. I'm not even sure if the referee's drawn one there. Certainly can't see any line where the West Ham players have stood. Maybe it will be that they've done what they can to try and wipe it out and stolen a yard or two. But Lacazette or Odegaard, so it's right foot of Lacazette or left foot of Odegaard. It's the left foot of Odegaard. It goes through the wall, but Fabianski sees it all the way and makes the save.
Yeah, not the best wall by West Ham, it's got to be said there. I mean, it kind of disintegrated as the free kick was taken. He actually goes for a gap, actually, Odegaard, to his credit. It's an easy enough save for Fabianski, but it's on his side as well, so you would expect him to make the save. But, a bit of a test for him again, Fabianski, and West Ham, kind of survive in a way. It was a dangerous free kick.
Yeah, Fabianski wasn't happy with the referee. I'm not quite sure what he was getting at there with Anthony Taylor, but he was making the point, I think, that potentially Fabianski might have just been closed down. He was, I did think that Martinelli was just getting in his way, and Fabianski a little bit frustrated there. And the referee actually books Martinelli for that, but he shows him a 2, so it's as if to say that was Martinelli's second offence on the field this evening. And I suppose, an accurate throw from a goalkeeper like that can actually start a counter-attack. So I suppose if an opposition player is stopping him deliberately, then you could argue that is a yellow card.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that obviously, like I say, if Fabianski releases a dangerous throw, West Ham could be in. So I think he's made the right decision there. And if it is a second offence of the evening as well, here come Arsenal forward.
Yeah, it's Arsenal who could be in now. The Lacazette with a good run. He finds Martinelli on the left-hand side. He gets the ball into the box. Souček just about gets his body in the way, but there's a second chance here now. Lacazette chips it to Martinelli. Martinelli back to Lacazette, left-hand edge of the penalty area. Tierney is waiting, as is Odegaard. The ball finds Odegaard now, trying to skip away from Dawson. And then it's Martinelli with a scuffed effort, which is blocked and played towards the edge of the area. Thomas Partey then flicks the ball up, but he couldn't keep it in play. Out for a throw to West Ham down the right-hand side. 59 minutes gone, independent off-tube studio commentary. It is Arsenal 1, West Ham United 0. In the other two games, it is still Brighton 0, Wolves 1. That's on 88 minutes. The goal scored by Romain Saiss in injury time at the end of the first half. And at Sellers Park, it is Crystal Palace 2, Southampton 2. Zaha gave Palace the lead on 2 minutes. Then Ward-Prowse on 32 and Broja on 36, making it 2-1 to Southampton. But then Jordan Ayew getting an equaliser for Palace on 65 minutes. And that's this is the scoreline. And that game is also on 89 minutes. West Ham now trying to go forward down the right-hand side with Antonio. Meantime, we're going to see our first change of the evening in just a moment. And it's the Algerian international Said Benrahma getting ready to go. And I wonder if this is just going to be a straight swap for the player that came on for him today, as in Fornals, who starts ahead of Benrahma this evening. Not seen too much of Fornals in this second half. Yeah,
Fornals been really quiet second half, even in the first. He did have that curling effort in the first half to his credit, which just went wide. But I don't really think we've seen enough from any West Ham attackers. This is a very understandable change from Moyes bringing on Benrahma.
Yeah, so Lanzini, potentially, he's always just got that little bit more about his game. He can make something out of nothing. So I would imagine that he's still going to be in the team. It's just a case of who Moyes wants to replace. We'll see that substitution in a moment. West Ham, they're still trying to push forward here. Antonio does well to actually get the ball away from Tierney, but then plays it into space, loses the ball quite easily, but then Lacazette's robbed of it. He wasn't fouled either. So here come West Ham now down the right-hand side with Coufal. He then finds Antonio. Coufal then looking for options. Get the ball in himself. Antonio tries to whip it in. It gets a slight deflection, a bit of pinball inside that box, hooked up in the air by Ben White. Second ball drops at the edge of the area. Coufal then plays it back to Antonio, but it's just a little bit away from Mikhail Antonio. Then Lacazette skips away from Dawson, plays it square to Tomiyasu, and then he crosses the halfway line. It's a 3-on-3 here if Arsenal can play this right. As here comes Saka now, gets to the edge of the area. West Ham are back in numbers though. No easy route into the box here for Saka. His cross deflects up in the air. The ball then drops to Thomas Partey. Really puts his left foot through that. Charged down by Dawson. Second ball in from Xhaka looking for Lacazette. Once again, it's that man Dawson getting in the way, and he feels as though he might have been fouled, and I think he might have been. Yeah, good counter-attack from Arsenal, though, in the end. Say Thomas Partey's original strike, he put so much into that, but again, Craig Dawson, lost count of how many times he's made blocks tonight, and again afterwards it was Craig Dawson as well who was in the way. He had an exceptional game today, the centre-half, and Arsenal survived, but again West Ham just can't seem to get anything going forward. There was a bit of pinball in the Arsenal box a moment ago though, but I just don't think West Ham are looking that convincing going forward in this game, and Arsenal every time they go forward do look promising. They do, Arsenal certainly do. There just seems to be that little bit more about their game, doesn't there? As a long clearance now from Fabianski, headed up in the air by Gabriel Martinelli. And then Antonio does well to head that ball back towards Lanzini. And just a bit of possession here for West Ham now inside the Arsenal half. Masuaku over towards Pablo Fornals, who's probably seen that there's a substitution been readied here for West Ham, so he'll probably know that it could be him that's going to be replaced. But here is Coufal now down the right, finds Antonio at the edge of the area, gets the ball into the box, hooked away by Gabriel, back towards midfield. Rice heads this back towards Diop, back to Rice. Bit of pressure there from Saka and Odegaard, but West Ham do well to keep possession. And here is Masuaku now into Pablo Fornals. His cross is blocked there by Thomas Partey, and the block deflects off the corner flag and out for a throw. Yeah, Partey in the right place there. Ready to stop. Wasn't a great cross anyway, but yeah, unfortunately for West Ham, they'd probably rather have had a corner, but in the end it turns out to be a throw in. And West Ham's just trying to get men forward really. I mean, they've still got time in this game, no doubt, but maybe need to see a little bit more from them. Well, I think that there's going to be a point where they just have to have that little bit more risk about them, because as it stands now, they're not really doing enough consistently to put this Arsenal defence under pressure. They're putting the Arsenal midfield under pressure, but not much is actually getting into Ramsdale's box. No, absolutely not, and that's the issue obviously for West Ham this evening, is they just haven't really had that penetration going forward. I think that they've looked promising at times, but never really gotten into a good position, and Arsenal defensively have found it quite comfortable. But every time Arsenal go forward, as I said, West Ham seem to be in a bit of trouble. Yeah, it just seems that they're always just that man short, potentially because they are committing a few men forward here. But here comes Declan Rice, shapes to shoot at the edge of the area. Combination of Odegaard and Lacazette charge him down. That's good play though from Antonio to get the ball away from Gabriel Martinelli. And still a chance to try and get this ball into the box. Antonio's crossed just a bit too high though for Souček. He was straining to even get the top of his head to that one, and in the end the ball reaches Bukayo Saka, who clears it, doesn't clear it, he passes it to Lacazette, who backheels it straight towards Xhaka, who just dawdles on the ball. He's robbed of it by Lanzini, and here comes Fornals now. Gets the ball to Mikhail Antonio, right hand edge of the penalty area. Antonio gets away from Tierney, puts a low cross in, and Bowen hits it with his weaker right foot, aiming at the near post, and in the end misses the goal by some way. I just wonder if he leaves this for Pablo Fornals, is he in a better position maybe?
I think Fornals was. I think Ben White is going out to him at the same time, so it would have been interesting if he did leave it, whether White would have got there in time. But I think with the way Bowen is, though, the way Bowen obviously went for it, it's just, I think he may have thought the goal was closer than it was really, and like you say, he misses the goal by some distance in the end, so he must have thought the goal was right next to him when he shot, but unfortunately that wasn't the case, and it goes way wide.
We've just got a break in play here now. They're showing us a replay of the goal, but I just wonder if this is because we're getting ready to make this. So it looks like it's going to be a substitution for both teams, because Benrahma's been ready to come on for West Ham for some time. But now it's Martin Odegaard who is applauding the Arsenal crowd as he goes off to be replaced by a very promising young player in Emile Smith-Rowe.
Yeah, Odegaard had 3 goals in his previous 3 games before this. Of course, that run has come to an end this evening, but he's worked hard, Odegaard, I think, as usual. I think he's done well enough, but Smith-Rowe, they're one of the most promising youngsters in the country. Completely see why he's coming on.
Absolutely, yes. He's gone from being a promising young Arsenal player to being, on the verge. Well, he has been in an England squad, hasn't he? He's been called up, and certainly you'd imagine that Gareth Southgate will be monitoring his progress very closely, because he does seem to have all the ingredients in terms of an eye for goal, very sort of comfortable on the ball, good vision as well. But here is a good chance for Arsenal as Martinelli just gets away from Dawson, plays that into Lacazette. Strong challenge there from Coufal, and the referee points to the penalty spot again. Anthony Taylor's done this 3 or 4 times this evening, where he's taken a very long time to reach his decision. I just wonder if this is the right decision, because to me it looked as though it was a clean challenge when he won the ball, and Lacazette perhaps has just felt the after effects of it. There's a booking here for Coufal, which is going to be his second of the evening. I'm just going to, before I cross Coufal off my team sheet, I'm going to wait, because I just wonder if VAR might get involved here, Sam.
Absolutely. I mean, he's taken so long to make that decision, Taylor. He kind of looks, then he hesitates, then he looks again. I think that's very harsh on Coufal if he gets sent off. I think his first yellow was quite harsh, and I think this one...
Does he win the ball?
Look at the replay.
Oh.
He's gone over the ball a little bit. That might be us. And you look at how much pain Lacazette's in, that probably isn't really helping his case, but... I think he's gone over the ball, but is that worthy of a yellow card, would you say?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm still... we've seen it from 3 different angles already, so we're certainly getting a good amount of replays to try and make a decision, but I'm still not convinced as to whether it's a foul. I mean, he gets the ball, he does get a bit of Lacazette, but then I don't think he puts any of the studs into Lacazette's ankle. It's almost like the foot sort of tripping Lacazette there, and the referee taking a few seconds.
Yeah, I think this will be very harsh on Coufal if he does end up seeing red. I think, it's harsh, but at the moment, though, he is off, and Arsenal, I mean, this is going to be hard for West Ham now.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be any kind of a VAR reprieve here. There's Coufal there and Souček, the 2 Czech internationals for West Ham, just in discussion. Coufal still a little bit unhappy. He's making his way over towards the touchline, but he's taking a very long time over it. The referee, Anthony Taylor, now having to tell 10 players in turn, yes, we will check it. Yes, we will check it. Of course, that's what has to happen in these situations now.
I don't know if it's clear and obvious enough to overturn, though.
No, I don't think it is, because I think there is enough to say that Coufal does commit a foul there, but whether or not... I think that I'm more happy with the penalty decision than I am with the second yellow. That's the bit that I'm not too happy about.
You can argue Lacazette will get a shot away if he does get away from Coufal, but a yellow card for me seems a little bit harsh. He's gone over the ball, which I think is his issue. I thought originally he won the ball and it ricocheted off Lacazette and he followed through, which would have been harsh, but he actually has gone over the ball, and Lacazette's going to be to take the penalty.
Yeah, says Graham Scott, our 4th official, just trying to explain to Coufal why he did get that second yellow. But Lacazette against Fabianski. Lacazette steps up, Fabianski makes the save. The rebound from Saka clipped to the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Craig Dawson, and then the ball is back at the edge of the area now with Thomas Partey. Makes a bit of a mess of the back heel. He then gives the free kick away, and West Ham will argue that at least some justice there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they still have 10 men, of course, West Ham. It's going to be very difficult for them to find the equaliser, but if the game goes 2-0 there, you probably say it's game over.
It's a good save as well. I mean, he tries to dummy the keeper, but he does put a bit of power into it as well, Lacazette. So Fabianski does guess the right side, and he gets 2 hands on that one as well, so it's a good save.
It's not the worst penalty in the world from Lacazette. Fabianski's guessed right, and he's done really well. It's near enough in the corner. Is the players in the box, though? I mean, we know that's a rule.
Well,
so.
I would be very disappointed if the penalty's retaken. retaken, because the only player that benefited from being in the box early was Bukayo Saka, who actually got to the rebound, and he was in the box when that penalty was being retaken. So I think that would have sent West Ham into a frenzy if the penalty had been retaken. I mean, it looks as though we are getting, we are resuming play there. So we've got over the 3-quarter mark now. 69 minutes gone here at the Emirates. It's all kicking off now as well, as Arsenal still lead 10-man. It is West Ham United now by a 1-0, and it will be Sam to take us through to full time.
Yeah, thank you. 20 minutes to go at the Emirates. Arsenal 1, West Ham 0. And West Ham got it all to do there with 10 men. Vladimir Coufal seeing a red card, 2 yellows in the game. Bowen now for West Ham as Gabriel Martinelli's goal, which is the difference between the two teams. Mazuaki goes to keep it in, but he can't do, and it's a goal kick to Arsenal. 20 minutes to go, though. 10 men for West Ham. With 11 men, you'd certainly fancy them, but with 10, it's going to be very, very difficult for West Ham at this point. They've created very little on the evening with 11, so with 10, it's going to be hard. It
is going to be hard. There might just be that little bit of fight in West Ham now after the red card that they feel is very harsh, and the penalty which their goalkeeper has saved. Because there's 20 minutes to go, and it is only a 1-0 lead for Arsenal, you couldn't say that this game is done and dusted, but of course I agree that it is going to be a tall order for West Ham, and if they try and commit too many men forward with a man down as well now, be interested to see how they rejig their team, whether they're going to make a different change now, because of course Ben Rama was due to come on, and I don't see any sign of him now.
Absolutely, of course. Arsenal would go above West Ham, and they do hold on for the win into 4th place. Antonio trying to come forward now for the Hammers, gets away from Martinelli, does well there. Antonio approaches the areas, blocked by Antonio. Lanzini takes it down to him, but Antonio won't quite keep that one in, and eventually collides with the advertising board. And it will be a goal kick to Arsenal, but West Ham, though, that's just what they need to do now. Just go for it. They've got nothing to lose at this point, I guess you can argue. 20 minutes to go, just go for it.
Absolutely, that's all they need to do, is to try and go for it with a little bit of thought, though. Of course, they can't just go hell for leather here, because then they could leave their own half exposed, but they've got to try and do something here, and there's going to be a booking here, I think, for Aaron Ramsdale, and rightly so. I don't like this, the way goalkeepers change their position in terms of where their goal kick's going to be taken from, so a booking there for the Arsenal keeper.
Yeah, a bit wasteful that from Ramsdale, of course. 20 minutes to go. I mean, just, no need to time waste at this point of the game, really. That's one to take with a couple of minutes to go, really, not 20. Ramsdale does eventually take the goal kick, and Tomiyasu can try and flick it on, but he was beaten to the ball. White heads it back, and Xhaka completes the clearance. Saka on, but Mazuaki can clear up there, and Partey retrieves the ball, and Smith-Rowe heads on, Mazuaki away. A bit untidy at the moment in the middle of the park. Partey, though, good play, and again Arsenal give it away, though, and Rice can try and bring it forward. Good play from the West Ham skipper. When he goes to play a ball, that comes off Martinelli, but will find Antonio, who seems to be playing as a right wing back at the moment. Antonio, I don't know if that's going to be the case for the game, but he goes away from Martinelli, still has possession. He tries to go away. Martinelli again, he's done really well, and then Martinelli eventually gets a toe in, and will that go out? It will go out for a throw in. I think Antonio was hoping for a corner, but he's got a throw in the end. But it seems like Antonio is playing from the right hand side at the moment.
Well, he's played at he's been a right winger before. I think he's certainly played as an emergency of right back or right wing back in his time. But Arsenal give the ball away as a chance now for Souček down the right hand side.
Yeah, Souček with it, finds Antonio again. Lacazette goes to win it back and does. Martinelli, Tierney eventually does keep it in, and that will find Lacazette, and Arsenal can now maybe come forward. Smith-Rowe on the overlap, who he will try and find, but Declan Rice some really good cover in. And Arteta again is literally right next to Declan Rice, like Arteta wants to be out there tonight on the pitch. He's been that close to it sometimes.
He's got to watch it, because as I say, with Arteta's midfield traits, he probably would have quite liked to have challenged Declan Rice for that one there. But certainly the Arsenal manager will be feeling it now, because of course his side had the chance to put the game to bed. With West Ham having that red card and the penalty, unfortunately from Arsenal's point of view, missed by Lacazette, saved by Fabianski. So that just makes Arteta that little bit more nervous, particularly as in the last few minutes. Oh, there's a mistake there from Tomiyasu.
And Ramsdale will get there, but he's got to be grateful there. That wasn't close enough to the goal. Ramsdale, a bit of a miscommunication, and that's all it needs really to go for West Ham to get back into it.
When it's only a goal deficit, absolutely, Sam. Yeah, and I suppose the credit to Tomiyasu there, that it was such a cushion header that even though he missed his keeper by some way, he wasn't powerful enough to go towards goal.
We saw a similar incident on Sunday when Timothy Castagna passed back to Kasper Schmeichel, and Schmeichel, the goalkeeper, showed a great turn of pace to keep it out. So it certainly can have the miscommunications between defence and goalkeeper. Partey has the ball in the midfield for Arsenal. Finds Granit Xhaka. Out to Kieran Tierney. Tierney back to Xhaka, who finds Ben White. Tomiyasu. Smith-Rowe. Partey. Chance for Arsenal to come forward now. Tierney just inside the penalty area up against Antonio. Partey back to Xhaka. Arsenal quite patient at the moment from Arsenal. Tierney gets a cross in. It's not a bad ball at all, and in the end Masuaku has to put it behind for a corner, and someone maybe needs to be approaching that Tierney cross. It was a really good ball into a dangerous area, but no Arsenal player committing.
No Arsenal player committing, no, and certainly Tierney was onside. When he puts the cross in, there's no danger of any Arsenal player being offside. Martinelli was the closest one to it. Lacazette, for whatever reason, was 5 or 6 yards off that cross, and in the end Masuaku's safety first just hooks the ball out for a corner. Arsenal
looking for that killer goal, which they had a chance to do from the penalty spot around 5 minutes ago, but Fabianski making an important save. Saka it's going to be to take it, and in swinging, left footer. Not a bad one, it's flicked on, and if Gabriel was close to it, but it goes past him, but he does have the ball now. He finds Martinelli, the goal scorer. Tierney plays one forward, good ball as well to Martinelli, who controls. Plays him with his left foot, and Antonio blocks. That'll be another corner to Arsenal. As long as the ball's at this end of the field, Arsenal certainly won't mind.
No, absolutely not. Arsenal will feel comfortable with the ball going out of play for another corner, and it's spending more time in the West Ham half. Absolutely, what they want to avoid is West Ham having a longer period of possession where they could just camp in the Arsenal half. And so far, there's only really been one moment where West Ham could have done that before Arsenal were able to clear their lines. But it's going to be an in-swinger from Martinelli from the left-hand side.
Yeah, Martinelli to take it. It's not a bad one. It's just about headed away though, and it will fall into volley. It's just gone wide by Gabriel. I thought that might have been headed in for a moment. It wasn't a bad effort at all from the centre-back.
No, it wasn't. We'll see from the reverse angle just how close it was. He certainly catches it flush enough with the left foot slightly sort of angled. It was always a yard or two wide, but I tell you what, if he catches that one and it's going on target, potentially Antonio might have got in the way of it, but he was certainly going at some pace.
Yeah, not bad effort at all from Gabriel. Lanzini has gone off for West Ham, and it will be finally Ben-Rama to come onto the field.
I suppose, it is almost a toss of a coin as to who's had less impact this evening, Benrahma or Fornals. Sorry, Lanzini or Fornals. So it was just a case of which David Moyes wanted to take off there, really.
Yeah, Lanzini never scored against Arsenal for West Ham, and that run has continued. Not been his best game for any West Ham attacker, really, even when they had 11 on the field. They were struggling, to be honest, to get at the Arsenal defence. They're in possession now, but they give it away, though, to Saka, given away by Diop, and then Masuaku. Will he foul Saka? The referee says no, and the play will continue. Saka stayed down, and Arsenal have won the ball back, though. Smith-Rowe to Tomiyasu. I think that's the thing Mikel Arteta will be impressed with the most this evening. Whenever Arsenal have lost the ball, they've been very eager to win it back.
They have. The work rate from Arsenal, you certainly can't fault them. Perhaps they've been a little bit wasteful sometimes in possession. A couple of the final passes in that final third have let them down. But certainly you can't fault the work ethic of Arsenal. They really have tried very hard to keep the pace up of the game, and it's looking a little bit easy for them now, of course, with the man advantage.
Tomiyasu finds Saka up against Masuaku. Been a regular battle this evening, that one. Goes into Smith-Rowe, but Diop will get there first, and now West Ham can try and come away. Bowen heads on to Ben-Rama, looking for his first touch, which he won't get because Gabriel steps in and wins the ball back and finds Lacazette. Touches on to Saka. Saka ball ricochets back when it will be gathered by Fabianski. A bit of a nudge in the back by Lacazette on Dawson there as well. I think Dawson's had an exceptional game this evening, hasn't he, Craig Dawson? He was in the right place again to shield the ball for his goalkeeper. Yeah,
he almost deserves a clean sheet as a defender this evening, doesn't he, Dawson, for the way he's played. It has been a very, very good performance. But then that's the Premier League, though. You made the point that he was a little bit off for where he needed to be for the goal, and that's how Arsenal scored, as West Ham putting pressure on that Arsenal goal with... it looks like goalkeeper Ramsdale almost got himself into a bit of a pickle there, but just about cleared the ball.
Yeah, Gabriel, not the greatest back pass from Gabriel to Ramsdale. He just about kept the ball in play, but nearly presented it straight to Jarrod Bowen, but luckily the ball was a little bit over him from Ramsdale's point of view. It's a good take from Partey away from Ben-Rama. Partey finds Saka. Been often involved tonight, the English winger. Saka to Tomiyasu. As Arsenal trying to patiently build possessions. Partey, Saka. Back to Partey. Xhaka. Tierney. Martinelli in space in the area. Left-footed cross, and it will be... Oh, it's just Saka, and it's just gone wide. I think it might have been Diop in the way, and a real chance for Arsenal to make it too, but Diop just kind of stood tall and blocked it out for a corner.
Yeah, this time it's Craig Dawson's partner in centre-back here, Diop getting his body in the way. And I tell you what, even after that deflection from Diop, it's not too far away from finding the net, just shaving the outside of the post there with Fabianski completely wrong-footed. He was moving over to his left as that ball was heading over to his right, but it will be an Arsenal corner.
Very, very close. That's on target. It's certainly a goal. It's Martinelli from the left-hand side, an in-swinger, and it's in, and it's headed away by a West Ham body just about, and then Saka takes it down. Smith-Rowe can get a shot away. It's a comfortable save for Fabianski, but Smith-Rowe trying to go for one into the bottom corner there, but Fabianski read it quite well.
Yeah, Fabianski could see that one from a long way out because Smith-Rowe did have a little bit of traffic in front of him. He had to sort of position himself to get the shots away, perhaps just lost a little bit of the power in doing that, and that made it just that little bit easier for Fabianski. But certainly, as it stands now, a second Arsenal goal seems a lot more likely than a West Ham equaliser.
Absolutely, the man advantage kind of showing in that situation. Antonio bundles Martinelli to the floor, and that really sums up Antonio's days in a really poor game today, hasn't he, Antonio?
He's had a poor month. I think we made the point that since the international break back in early November, he really has struggled to get into any kind of form here for West Ham. I think his argument will be that since the Euros last summer, of course, referees have been told to just be that little bit more, allow that little bit more contact. And perhaps Antonio was thinking that would be in that bracket. So we saw Mikel Arteta there. He didn't even want Martinelli to stay down on the ground. He was just off the pitch, and Arteta was hurrying him to get back on the field.
Absolutely, Arsenal get back on with it. Here's Smith-Rowe to Granit Xhaka, who looks for a ball out to Saka. It's a good ball as well from the Swiss. And Martinelli is down now on the field. Arsenal are going to play on, though, by the looks of it.
Yeah, well, that was the strike. I suppose the weird one with that was that Martinelli perhaps could feel he was slightly injured, so he went off the field. His manager then told him to come straight back on the field, and now he's within seconds he's back on the ground. So Martinelli looks like he's in trouble there.
Arsenal might need to make a substitution here by the looks of it. Martinelli certainly feeling something. They have already made one change, of course. Smith-Rowe replacing Martin Ødegaard.
Yeah, well, if Martinelli was to go off, as we can see now, I just wonder...
Is Arteta doing that for a bit
of... Yeah, I do wonder, because the way he's... you can see a couple of smiles there on that Arsenal bench from the technical staff just behind Mikel Arteta. And I've made this point before that it's ironic, really, how much time top professional footballers spend trying to avoid playing football on the pitch. When they're trying to waste time, and so that thing of being injured off the pitch and then deliberately rolling to be on the pitch. That should be an automatic booking, in my opinion, because the players know what they're doing. Sometimes the managers, sometimes even the physios are encouraging them to do it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is. Martinelli has, of course, gone off. The Arsenal goal scorer Eddie Nketiah has come on. Eddie Nketiah scored the winner against West Ham in the fixture last season, a 2-1 win at the Emirates Stadium in September 2020.
And is that right? A little bit of a discourse. Nketiah currently stalling on a new contract, is that right?
He is. Eddie Nketiah has not signed a new Arsenal contract at this moment in time. Very interesting, of course, that why he is still playing in games. We know the situation, of course, in the past with the likes of Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez when he was at Arsenal.
I think that they're hoping that because of Nketiah's sort of longer ties with Arsenal, that perhaps he won't have the same sort of petulant approach that Sanchez or Ozil had. But the other thing as well is, of course, that they're hoping to give him a bit of game time to perhaps convince him that there is still a place for him in the Arsenal first team, and I think they're still hoping that he might sign.
Of course, with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's current situation, of course, the disciplinary which got him stripped of the captaincy, and Nketiah might give him a bit of hope, and there's Benrahma go from pass, surely a foul from the Ghanaian it is, and West Ham are free. I think that's the first touch of the game for Benrahma since he made his introduction around about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, he's not seen much of the ball at all. West Ham haven't really been able to get forward, but they've got a bit of possession here now. Antonio, they're running straight into problems. Just about wins the ball back for his side, does he? Yes, it'll be a throw to be taken now by Antonio himself, it looks like.
Antonio looks like he has filled in as a makeshift right back, of course, due to Vladimir Coufal's red card. The replay of the goal we saw a moment ago, it looked like Coufal and Dawson give up already when Martinelli was going through, because they knew they were really going to beat him in a foot race, and they just kind of left it to Fabianski, and he did get a hand to it, the Polish goalkeeper, but he was never really going to keep out what was a really good finish. The ball in from Bowen is caught by Ramsdale.
Yeah, in the end, easy for Ramsdale. Yeah, but with the goal, I agree. I think that they perhaps forgot that although they don't necessarily need to make a challenge, just having their body just being close to the Arsenal man could have been enough just to perhaps put him off, just to rush his shot a little bit and still have a chance of stopping him.
Arsenal have possession now with Ramsdale to Gabriel. Back to Ramsdale inside his 6-yard box. And the goalkeeper's kicking, hasn't it? Always been the best this evening, but he gets this one right to Tomiyasu, but his header goes out of play 83.5 minutes gone. It's still 1-0 to Arsenal as West Ham already ink another change, and one of the young players might well be getting a run out here.
It is. I think this is Ashby. I think I've seen him play before a couple of times, so this may well be Harrison Ashby coming on here for West Ham, and he's coming on for Pablo Fornals. So the two creative players for West Ham this evening in Lanzini and Fornals didn't have much of an impact, and the youngster Ashby's on now for the last few minutes.
Not at all. Very little impact from both Lanzini and Fornals. Disappointing day at the office for both of them. As West Ham still trying to push for an equaliser, which does seem very unlikely, but it only takes one opportunity. Ashby has possession and goes to Dawson. Another player, of course, West Ham made his debut in the Europa League I watched recently, one of their forwards. And of course West Ham have given a lot of debuts out against Dynamo Kiev recently as well, so they are giving a lot of young players a chance at the moment, mainly in the Europa League. But
as well as the young players you mentioned, they've also got a couple of older players that just haven't been able to find form. Yarmolenko, I'm such a fan of his. He scored such a fabulous goal at the Euros last summer, but again struggles in terms of his fitness, in terms of injuries. And Nikola Vlasic, who comes with some reputation to the London Stadium, hasn't really bedded down at all so far.
Absolutely not. I mean, I watched West Ham in the Europa League against Rapid Vienna, and those two were quite influential, but not really done it in the Premier League, that's for sure. As West Ham have possession now, with Declan Rice. Souček finds Masuaku, who goes forward towards Antonio, will take it down. It's a good touch, and he gets through, and in the end Gabriel with some good defending, and he will clear. Antonio's touch has been rather off this evening, but that one was very good, and it nearly got him on goal.
Probably one touch, probably one touch away from having an effort inside the box, getting away from those defenders, and that's why Arsenal fans, Arsenal players and the manager, they can't relax yet, because West Ham are still in this game. They're only a goal down.
Absolutely. Declan Rice steps in and wins the ball from Lacazette. Masuaku to Benrahma. Back to Masuaku. And he finds Issa Diop as West Ham trying to find that equaliser, being very patient. Ball to Ashby, who will head on to Souček, who goes back to him. Bowen. Benrahma, chance for him to maybe get the ball out of his feet. He will find Souček and can play one in. It's blocked though by Xhaka, and that will run out for, it looks like, a throw in to West Ham.
Yeah, they've been unlucky 3 times down that right hand side, West Ham, with balls deflected just the wrong side of the corner flag to go out for a corner. He's just gone out for a throw. I've noticed as well that Ashby took that throw, so maybe he's now gone onto that right hand side of attacking midfield to allow Antonio to get a bit further forward.
It's Rice's ball forward, and Nketiah will head it away. Dawson, did that hit his hand? The referee doesn't give anything. Looks like he did hit his hand, actually, but I'm not too sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, if West Ham score from this, it'll be interesting if VAR wants to get involved, although in the meantime Arsenal have won it back, so you'd argue probably it's a new passage of play. Chance now for the Gunners to go on the counter.
Smith-Rowe's on the overlap, and Lacazette going forward as well. He does find the substitute Smith-Rowe. Arsenal with men forward. Smith-Rowe goes on and shoots and scores. A really good finish of his left foot. The Arsenal substitute makes it 2-0 to the Gunners, and surely now they'll move into the top 4 this evening.
That's a really smart finish from Emile Smith-Rowe. It leaves Fabianski flat-footed, just couldn't go after the ball, and Arteta, now he can smile, now he can relax, because with 3 minutes plus injury time to go, his Arsenal side are 2 up against 10-man West Ham, so there'll be no comeback from this point, you don't feel, for the Hammers, but certainly good counter-attacking goal. That we mentioned that after Arsenal took the lead, the West Ham may leave themselves open at the back towards the end of the game as they're chasing. That's precisely what's happened.
I was just about to say that, yeah, West Ham, that's an example of them leaving too many bodies forward. It's Benrahma who loses out, and then eventually West Ham go to win it back. But full credit to Smith-Rowe, what he does here. He obviously a fresh player, come on as a sub. It's a really good play for him to get the ball in that position. Then he takes it on, and to be fair to him, it's a very good finish on the edge of the area, and Fabianski no chance.
No, I think he's just hoping perhaps there's going to be more of a challenge there from Diop. And Diop just, there's a nutmeg actually on Issa Diop there as Smith-Rowe strikes this one. Just goes through the legs of Issa Diop, and Fabianski sees it too late. He's almost like he's sort of leaning towards the ball, but he hasn't got enough time to get his legs or his arms anywhere near it. And it's a very smart finish just inside the post there from Smith-Rowe, and that's Arsenal wrapping up the points.
Fantastic goal from Emile Smith-Rowe, and Arsenal 2-0. See what it means to Mikel Arteta.
I'm just laughing there because just briefly for a split second you saw Martin Odegaard, his face as that goal was being scored. He certainly wasn't leaping up with delight. It's that fascinating sort of relationship that footballers have with their teammates, where they want to win for the better of the team, but also it does mean occasionally that someone has come on for you and done the job. But as Arsenal make their third and final change here, Sam?
Yes, Lacazette has gone off, and he has been replaced by Tavares. Of course, Tavares had a bit of a difficult time of it in recent games. Of course, the one against Liverpool particularly stands out. When he presented the ball to Diogo Jota, he went on to score. But, Lacazette, usually a great record against West Ham. 4 goals in 4 games. games at the Emirates Stadium against them in the Premier League, but he did miss his penalty this evening, though, and a chance to score, but a bit of a run out, I guess, for Tavares, and a chance for him to maybe regain a bit of confidence.
Absolutely, with just a few minutes left to play, but here come West Ham.
Yeah, Ben Rama in a good position. He'll find Souček, who goes to shoot, but in the end, Partey gets back, and it will be a free kick, though, to West Ham. It's a bit hesitant there, Souček, but in the end, he does win his free kick, and West Ham have an opportunity.
Yeah, they do. This is a good opportunity to get a shot towards goal. I mean, Partey only gets the man, and he barely kicks the ball after Souček's already falling. So, although there's quite a vociferous argument there from Arsenal, a couple of the players really trying to appeal to the referee, I don't think they've got a leg to stand on there. As far as I'm concerned, that was a foul from Partey. And this is only a yard away from the edge of the D, slightly to the left, so right-footed curling effort would be the order of the day here, you'd think.
Absolutely, West Ham a chance to maybe salvage something, but if they were to score from this, West Ham, you'd argue they've got a few minutes still to try and get themselves a very, very unlikely equaliser, but Arsenal looking comfortable right now. Ben Rama, Rice and Bowen all over this, but you'd probably fancy Ben Rama in this sort of position.
You certainly would. It's going to be Smith-Rowe, the man who's going to lie down to try and stop any low efforts, as Ramsdale just bouncing on his line, keen to keep his clean sheet.
Absolutely. Who's going to take this? It will be Ben Rama, and it's hit the wall. It's a bit of a poor effort from him. And then he goes to get it out of his feet again. Ashby then goes back to Dawson, but the ball is probably going to go back to Fabianski here, you'd imagine. No, Dawson does still have it, but in the end, West Ham unable to really make anything of that. But here they come again now, actually, with Ashby on the right-hand side. He finds Bowen. Bowen up against Tavares. Bowen crosses it. It's not a bad ball. Ben White, they will head away, and Arsenal can regain possession with Nketiah. And again, Arsenal survive, and you'd imagine now with 5 added minutes at the Emirates Stadium, there's not really a way back into West Ham, and Arteta's still there on the touchline.
He's still on the touchline. I must admit, it's probably a minute or two longer than I would have expected. And although saying that, we did have a long penalty debate there, a couple of substitutions, there was an injury, second goal was scored, so I suppose you'd always find an argument for 4 minutes. I suppose 5 isn't that much over, but it just means that Arsenal just got to be focused for that little bit longer now.
Yeah, but here come Arsenal with Smith-Rowe to Tomiyasu. White finds Gabriel. Arsenal just trying to play down the clock here now. Maybe they do have that 2-goal lead, which they squandered from the penalty spot with Alexandre Lacazette, but Emile Smith-Rowe making no mistake. Partey finds Ben White. Unbeaten against West Ham in his Brighton days. And that run will continue here. This will stretch West Ham's run against Arsenal just to 2 wins in 29 games against the Gunners since 2007. Really do not enjoy coming up against him, and David Moyes will still be yet to beat Mikel Arteta as a manager as well. Partey in possession finds Tomiyasu. Smith-Rowe. Tomiyasu again. Saka. Smith-Rowe. Arsenal just keep possession now, happy just to run down the clock as mentioned a moment ago. Partey to Kieran Tierney. Might try and cross him, but instead he goes back to Tavares. I mean, obviously, Tierney and Tavares, you imagine that will be the battle in the left-back spot, and as long as Kieran Tierney's fit, though, you do imagine that place will be his.
Yes, I mean, he had a very difficult start at Arsenal, didn't he? Arrived and spent most of his time out injured, and then when he finally got into the team, he got injured again after a short period of time, so he must be really chomping at the bit now to try and stay in this team, and he looks very assured on that left-hand side. He's exactly the kind of player that Arteta likes, because he has the defensive qualities, but also he has the passing ability of a winger, really.
Saka, Tomiyasu. Partey into Saka, but Masuaku reads that one well, and West Ham can come forward, but they've given it away though. Xhaka, Smith-Rowe, Xhaka, maybe a chance to maybe wrap it up. Xhaka does have a go, it's way off target. We know the Swiss man can hit them from distance, but that one was way over, and it remains 2-0. Xhaka looks quite frustrated with himself.
He does, yeah. Xhaka just, I mean, it's been a really tough game for Arsenal, I think, but it'll be one of those where they feel as though they've really earned the 3 points, because West Ham have made it difficult for Arsenal at times, and Bukayo Saka been very busy down that right-hand side for Arsenal this evening. I've been impressed with him. I've also thought that certainly Lacazette led well from the front. And West Ham, I think, will be a little bit disappointed with the way the game's finished. But it's one of those things when you play at the Emirates Stadium, although West Ham are a big side themselves, they just got a little bit swamped at times, I thought, this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. West Ham haven't been on the best run of form. This will make it just 2 wins in 8 games since that 3-2 win over Liverpool at the London Stadium. So one of them, of course, was against Chelsea to their credit, but not been on the best run of form, it's fair to say, the Hammers. Partey, Smith-Rowe, back to Partey. Really started to come into his own in an Arsenal shirt now, Party, after a very stop-start season last year due to injuries and performances. Nketiah out to Tavares. It's a Tierney, but that's read though by Ashby, and 90 seconds to go of the 5 added minutes, and Arsenal just happy to play with the ball now and wait till the game's over.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll know that there's not going to be any surprises now, and Mikel Arteta will be very pleased. The next game for these two sides, Arsenal play away at Leeds United in the evening kickoff on Saturday, whereas West Ham play in a 3 o'clock kickoff at home to Norwich City on Saturday. Those are the next two fixtures. Here come Arsenal now with Smith-Rowe almost getting that ball through at the edge of the area. Doesn't quite find Nketiah though.
Yeah, Dawson in the right place again. I feel sorry for Dawson. I think he has. Oh, just as I say that, he actually... no, that was Souček, my apologies, who miscued it, but the Dawson it was who picked it up and played it back to Fabianski. Tomiyasu heads up in the air and Xhaka goes back to Gabriel. I think if you offered an Arsenal fan 4th place by around Christmas after the way they started the season, they'd absolutely have taken it. It's full credit to Mikel Arteta and the players for the turnaround. And here they come now, though. Might have a chance to make it free. Saka plays it in. It's just a bit behind Smith-Rowe in the end, and I don't know if he'll make much of an effort to get it towards goal. Nketiah, he's up against Diop in the penalty area. Plenty of bodies back for West Ham, and eventually they do get it away.
I'm a bit disappointed that Saka wasn't more greedy there. I think with the game so late on, they're 2-0 up, less than a minute of injury time. Saka had enough time there to try and get a right or a left-footed effort towards goal himself.
Might well have been the case, but Saka is usually an unselfish player known as anyway. Played one across, but not quite. And the full-time whistle blows at the Emirates Stadium, and Arsenal move into the top 4 with a 2-0 win over West Ham. Gabriel Martinelli broke the deadlock 48 minutes into the game. Vladimir Coufal saw red for 2 bookable offences, and Emile Smith-Rowe wraps up the 3 points in the 87th minute. Final score, Arsenal 2, West Ham United 0.